class, welcome back. So today we are going to be adding fractions with different denominators. So I'm going to write my table of contents, adding fractions with different denominators, and I am on page 89. Okay, so let's write today's objective. So today I will add fractions with different denominators. Okay, and let's have these off to the side, so make sure you have your two area models off to the side, because this is how we're going to prove that our adding is correct. So I'm going to put those to the side. We're going to add them in a little bit. So something to remember is that when you're adding fractions, you must have common denominators. You cannot add two fractions that have different denominators. You have to switch one of them to a common denominator. So I'm just going to write that reminder for us. So fractions must have common denominators to add. Okay, so let's check. The steps are super simple for this lesson, so let's just write them really quick. So steps 1, first you gotta check the denominators. Can you just add across and add out the numerators? If not, you need to change. So I'm gonna write check denominator. Step 2, if needed, convert to common denominators. And then step 3, you just add across. Remember, your denominator stays the same. You don't add the denominators, those are staying the same. Okay, let's take a look. So let's say we have two tenths plus 44 hundredths. Okay, we're gonna first check the denominators. Are these the same numbers? No. So now I have to convert one to the other. Now it's always best to convert higher. It's just easier that way. So I'm gonna take my 10 and I need to somehow get my 10 to be 100. So I know that in order to make this a common denominator, I have to think, okay, 10 times what is going to give me 100? So I know that 10 times 10 gives me 100. What I do to the bottom, I do exactly to the top. So if I did 10 times 10, I have to multiply my numerator by 10 as well. So now I have 20 over 100. I'll make that either. So now I have 20 over 100 plus 44 over 100. So now my denominators are the same and I can add across. So I'm going to do 44 plus 20, and that is going to give me 64 over 100. Okay, now let's take our square and I'm going to put it over here to prove how I know this is true. So we can, let's just say that we have 2 10s. If these were just 10 rod area models, we wouldn't have any squares, right? And I would just color 2. And that's the same thing as coloring in 20, right? So this is 20 out of 100. So 20 plus 44, 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 4 more, 41, 42, 43, 44. Does that give me 64 shaded out of 100? Yeah, so I'm good there. I can prove it with an area model, okay? So these are just for proving our answer to be true. So I'm gonna glue that in later, but for now, I'm just gonna leave it up there. Okay, let's do another one. Why don't we do 5 over 100 plus 4 over 10. Step 1 is to check the denominator. The denominators are different, so I can't just add across. I have to convert my 10s to 100. So I gotta think 10 times what is gonna give me 100? Well, 10 times 10. Whatever I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. So I do times 10 here, and that gives me 40 over 100 plus 5 over 100. I then add my numerators, 40 plus 5. I can do that one in my head. So 45 over 100. Now I'm going to prove my answer is true with an area model. I'm going to stick this one over here. So let's shade first. First thing I'm going to do is shade. I'm going to shade my 40 first because it just makes it a little easier. So I'm going to do 40, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 10. Each of these is 10, so 4 times that is 40. Then I got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can prove it because 45 is shaded out of 100, so this is a true statement. Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 to work on tonight because this is pretty simple. So we might be able just to move on from it tomorrow. So I'm gonna give you 2. So flip the page over. Okay, for tonight, I'm gonna give you 2, and please glue in your area models as well because you will need to prove your answer with those. So the first one I'm gonna give you is 6/10 plus 23 hundredths. So solve for that one and glue in your area model here to prove with your shading. And then the next one's gonna be 7/10 plus 9 hundredths. And then glue in, so you should have work shown plus your glue in area models. Okay, see you tomorrow.